Do you know what was so important about the second quarter of fiscal year 2023 for Disney Plus? Do you have any reason in your mind that you can think of why the executives of Disney were probably looking forward to the second quarter? I'll tell you why they were probably excited and are probably now very disappointed. It's the fact that their flagship program, The Mandalorian, the highest rated, most viewed show on the platform, was coming out with its third season, a follow-up to their stellar first two seasons, at least stellar in the sense that it got a lot of viewership. It brought in a lot of subscriptions. Their third season came out, and unfortunately for Disney, unfortunately for Disney Plus, but fortunately for space pirates like me, who are sick and tired of Disney, who are sick and tired of the crap that they keep peddling, for people like me, and this is good, they lost subscribers during this second quarter, and I think it's absolutely hilarious. I'm bathing in my schadenfreude.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
I'm like Scrooge McDuck swimming around in my pit of gold, only instead of gold, it's schadenfreude. It's that wonderful feeling that these people are getting what's coming to them. Now, there is some nuance. They lost 4 million subscribers on their Disney Plus platform for this last quarter, but there is some nuance which we are going to cover. That being said, I wanted to address this tweet that I saw from a guy I follow that everyone here should follow. He's a good dude. Razor Fist. You should follow him on Twitter. You should be subscribed to him on YouTube. The guy is very entertaining, very informative. This tweet here is really interesting to me. Individual streaming services are on borrowed time. As I predicted something like 8+ years ago, eventually there will be one massive streaming package, already happening with bundles. We'll be back to square one, cable, but on demand and with an internet connection. And really, the only reason I bring this up is I'd like to talk about that. Is that something that you guys think is going to happen? What do you think will happen to Disney Plus in the long run? Say by the end of the decade, do you think Disney Plus will continue to exist, or do you think they will continue to piss down their own pant leg and absolutely ruin their own platform and have to bundle up with some of the other streaming services? I'm going to tell you what I think here, which is, of course, that Disney is doomed. I think that they will absolutely fail on this count, but we'll see. We'll see. In any event, I think that we should all take this opportunity to point and laugh at these absolute chuckleheads who have completely demolished their own platform by making absolute garbage. There were 4 million subscribers lost in this last quarter. Actually, I think it was like 4.3 million to be more exact, that they lost in total. 300,000 of them were American, and about 4 million of them were Hotstar. So just to put it into full context here. But with that in mind, let's take a look at this article from TechCrunch.com. Disney Plus loses subscribers for the second quarter in a row, drops 4 million subs. 4 million subscribers. Now, as I say, we're going to go into some nuance because the vast majority of these subscriptions that they lost were not American subscriptions, meaning that the loss of income, of revenue, is not going to be as high as that sounds like, but it is definitely not a good thing for them, and they did still lose out bigly. I mean, this was a quarter where they were projected to go up by 2 million subscribers. And in fact, they went down by 4 million subscribers. So yeah, it's not a very good thing for them. But let's continue. As Disney approaches its third round of expected layoffs and deals with production delays due to the ongoing writer's strike, the company delivered more bad news to investors. Its flagship streaming service, Disney Plus, lost 4 million subscribers in Q2 2023, bringing the total to 157.8 million subscribers compared to 161.8 million subs in the previous quarter. Analysts expected subscriber growth of 163.17 million. The main reason behind the decline was Disney Plus Hotstar, which shed 8% of its subscriber base, going from 57.5 million subs in Q1 2023 to 52.9. Many viewers in India are upset with the company's decision to not retain streaming rights for the Indian Premier Cricket League. And just in case you need the context for what I'm talking about here, Hotstar is the Indian version of Disney Plus. And one thing to note, I've actually looked at all the numbers here, and I've covered this before. I've covered the cost of Hotstar, before, because Disney Plus, when they were growing, they were touting their massive subscriber growth, like, oh, we've gone up by however many millions of subscribers. People are so happy. And this was happening in the midst of the Gina Carano fiasco and all the Star Wars backlash and all these other things that, you know, intuitively I would think would have cost them subscribers, but they were going up, and they were going, oh, look at this, look at how nobody actually cares, you know, everything that we've done was the right thing to do, everyone agrees, we're going up by millions of subscribers, when in actuality, it was just subscribers in these foreign countries, and they weren't going up. The company wasn't, in general, I mean to say, they weren't going up in any sense where they were making a lot more money, because, as I say, I've covered this before, a subscription to Disney Hotstar in India, it ranges anywhere from 499 rupees per year or 1,499 rupees per year, which is roughly about $6 a year or $18 a year. For the for the ad service, it's $6. For the non-ad service, it's $18 per year. Now that's per year. For most of us in the States, like if we were subscribed to Disney Plus, it's going to be like what, $12 a month, something like that. That's per month. So we're talking what, $144 per year versus $18. I mean, we're going on a 10 times more expensive in the States here, you know, something like 8 times more expensive, whatever that math works out to. The point being is they pay a lot less money over there. So it's not very impressive that they have those subscriptions. It's not really a traditional Disney Plus subscription, but they were touting those numbers when things were good. Now, as we continue to read this article, and if you were to read any of the other articles, you would see that the damage control, these writers, these Disney shills for these websites, are trying to do damage control by pointing out, they're making a point of letting us know that, oh, it's just Disney Hotstar. They're just losing Disney Hotstar subs. So it's not even a big deal, guys. Disney is still awesome. When in actuality, there are 53 million subscribers to Hotstar currently. 53 million roughly. Meaning that 1 in 3 subscriptions to Disney Plus are actually based in India. And that was mostly because of their cricket coverage or whatever that was. I don't know, I don't have Disney Hotstar, but last quarter, Disney Plus reported its first subscriber loss since its inception in 2019. The streamer saw a drop in 2.4 million subscribers in Q1. CEO Bob Iger also revealed during the last earnings call that Disney is set to undergo major restructuring, including job cuts that will affect 7,000 employees. But not him, of course. Not him. He's not going to take any kind of a cut. He's going to keep on making all kinds of money because he's such a genius. Such a genius. That's why they have to lay off 7,000 people. Is because he's so good at what he does. He's made nothing but the right choices. Not only financially, but morally. Because they can preach to us. They can teach our kids all about periods. In something like Turning Red. That's wonderful. That's just what I want my 5-year-old daughter to watch. Is a show about periods. It's wonderful. Period blood. Great. Anyway, so far the company has had 2 waves of layoffs, with one more on the way. Iger previously announced Disney's plans to save $5.5 billion in costs, including $3 billion in content spending. Disney also noted that it wants to prioritize the Marvel and Star Wars franchises over other titles. With that in mind, let's take a look at this other article here by Deadline. Disney pulling some content off streaming in strategic rethink. This is hilarious to me. Like I said, I'm just filled with schadenfreude. Absolutely filled with it. I am giddy at the thought of these people getting their comeuppance. We've been telling them for a long time, we don't care about any of this stuff. I don't care. For example, let's just read this article. I'll get to this. Disney will be yanking content from streaming as it rethinks its costs and strategy, and is looking at a content impairment charge of $1.5 billion to $1.8 billion as it does. We are in the process of reviewing the content on our direct-to-consumer services to align with the strategic changes in our approach to content curation, said Christine McCarthy, the CFO of the company. As a result, we will be removing certain content from our streaming platforms and currently expect to take an impairment charge, blah, blah, blah. Let's scroll down. She didn't specify any programming. Disney Plus recently canceled Willow and National Treasure after 1 season. Now, I confess that I am not exactly the biggest National Treasure fan in the world. In fact, I only saw the second one. I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it, wasn't very interested when those movies came out, but I did see the second one, and I liked it. Nick Cage is alright. I like watching a decent Nicolas Cage film. They're okay. But Willow. Now, I love Willow. I think that is an underrated franchise. I mean, it's not even a franchise, really. I mean, it is now, I guess. It was a movie. But, I think it was, as far as George Lucas, movies go, it's, not even a top 5, in my opinion. But it's still a great movie. I love Willow. Val Kilmer is my dude. I love Willow. But yeah, I didn't even watch this crap. I'm not going to watch that crap because all it is just them trying to modernize these stories that we love, and we have told them repeatedly, we don't want this. National Treasure. If you look at, all you have to do is look at a movie poster, or not, it's not a movie, but like something akin to a movie poster for National Treasure, and just look at the lineup of the cast, and you can tell that all it is preachy wokeness. It's them just going, hey look, here is a person of this ethnicity and this gender, and we're just checking off boxes all the way along so that everybody thinks that they've been included in our story. And it's just corporate posturing, let's be honest. That's all it is. I mean, for those of you who defend Disney, I mean, the people who do are usually the ones, they hate corporations, they hate capitalism. So why are they defending Disney? I can't really square it, except for the fact that they are easily led sheep. They are automatons. That's all. That must be what it is. But in any event, down a little ways it says pulling content off the service goes hand in hand with making less of it, or, as CEO Bob Iger put it on the call, getting much more surgical about what we make. And I mean, it's about time. How many shitty movies and programs do they have to put out where we tell them no, we tell them we are not interested, we don't like what you are doing here, we don't appreciate the cash grabs? How long did we have to go with them just cranking out material like this before they finally said, no, we're not going to do this. I mean, this goes hand in hand with our video yesterday where they're talking about Star Wars fatigue. I mean, indirectly, they're implying that they're sensing that there's Star Wars fatigue. Well, there's a Disney fatigue, actually. But it doesn't have so much to do with the amount of content. If it was good, we wouldn't complain. We would just watch it. But it's not good, so we don't watch it. So they lose money, and that's what's going on. Anyway, so Iger said, when you make a lot of content, everything needs to be marketed. You're spending a lot of money marketing things that are not going to have an impact on the bottom line, except negatively due to the marketing costs. So yeah, basically, their budget is completely out of hand. It is completely out of control, and they know it. It's what I've been talking about for a while with these Marvel films. A good chunk of what they spend is in marketing. It's in advertising. You know, they damn near double the cost of the film by advertising. And then when you factor in that they only get about half of the profit, or half of the income, I should say, the revenue, from a movie theater. Like, if you pay $10 for a ticket to a movie, they only get roughly half of that. The movie theater has to have something. So they only get about half of that. So when they say, oh, there's been a $700 million, this is a $700 million movie, they actually only got about $350 million. And then when you figure in that these Marvel movies are costing them $200 million to make, and then it's another $150 to $200 million to market, I mean, they're lucky to break even at that point. That's just the way that it works here. I find this hilarious. I couldn't have happened to a better company, and you know, it doesn't mean that they're going to go out of business. As of the recording of this, the new stock prices have not come out yet. I don't know how because the call was yesterday, and if I'm not mistaken, the earnings call happened after the market closed. So we will see what happens. Maybe I'm full of shit. Maybe by the time this will be released on YouTube, it's possible then that we will have seen an uptick in the prices of Disney stock, and I'll look like an idiot. Well, maybe. It'll really only be temporary, so I don't think I will look like an idiot. I think that it'll probably, if anything, maybe go up a little bit, but I doubt it. People are stubborn. People will have a hard time. People do have a hard time admitting that Disney is no longer magical, but it's the truth. They aren't. They aren't magical. They are preachy. They are ridiculous, and they're disgusting. And thank goodness that they are learning some lessons the hard way. It will take a lot more lessons, I'm sure, for it all to finally sink in, but, and in fact, I don't think it ever will fully sink in. I think that they are, at least the powers that be at Disney right now, are so fully invested in their projects, in their ideology, that they will never fully learn. But you know what? They have to, at least on the inside, they have to know at least kind of, sort of, right? Somewhere deep down they realize that they're full of shit.
Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your captain is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.